You say garters. I say tasers. Lots and lots of tasers. Tasers and panties always kind of go hand in hand, but I figured I'd take it a step further. It's possible that I should back up for a moment. In the year of 2020, we all suddenly started spending a lot more time at home. And while the world turning into a massive dumpster fire has been a put a bit of a damper on things, there's one thing that has been pretty great. I've started to spread. And then I was like, ooh, I like this. This is fun. Maybe I should try and take up a little more space. And then I thought back to the time before and I was like, oh no. Think of all of the spaces that I was crowded out of. See, back in BC, there was this thing called manspreading. It's basically when men somehow take up all of the room. And it's not all of the men, it's this particular breed that somehow mixes pretentious elite with super creeper. It's the type of guy that has resting lacrosse face, for some reason is allowed to be in charge of a bank somewhere, but we all know his mom still does his laundry. And when you're thinking about that kind of guy, the real question becomes, who gets to dominate public spaces? Enter tasers. I figure, if I have tasers on the outside of my body, no one will ever be able to take up my space again. A quick aside about how tasers work. They deliver a lot of voltage to the human body by essentially closing an electrical circuit using a human body. It is a temporary shock that can really hurt that delivers a high voltage but a low amperage to the body. Fun fact, that's the opposite of a welding machine, which has a low voltage but high amperage output. Back to business. Anyway, as I was saying, this is about feeling like you're able to take up space, feel confident, and also domination. As you can see, I'm starting off with a garter. How does this work? And then my battery pack. I went for the triple battery pack because I figured the more batteries, the better the tasing, which I then wired up to my taser, and then I connected the taser to some machine screws with paper clips wrapped around them as my electrodes. We going high tech, baby! Really though, you want a mechanical connection when you're working with high voltage because otherwise the connection could melt apart when the arc arcs. The machine screws are inset into these big buttons I got for this project because they're funny, and also because buttons are awesome. Here's how that prototype turned out. Luckily, it's kind of like small and blends in. It's like you're not even wearing anything. I will definitely be arrested if I leave the house wearing those. Check out that sound though. These tasers are legit. Still, for the final version, I'm gonna have to sleek up my design. Do you think it's more or less likely that I'll be arrested if I add lace? Just make it look a little friendly, a little, just a little friendly garter delight. Clearly, the tasers need to be press activated, so I designed some resistance into the button so that you really have to press up against it. No need to tase people for just a light little brushing. Underneath the buttons is this clicker thing. That's its official name. I soldered the clicker thing back into the battery pack and the taser. I soldered, I drilled, I snipped, I twisted, I used hot glue, and if you tell anyone, I'm gonna tase you. If your workstation doesn't involve fire, electronics, and lace, what are you even doing with your life? Here are the final garters. As you can see, the arc on the left garter has to jump further due to the fact that the electrodes are farther apart. This makes for a louder sound, and it's also pulling more power to complete the circuit. AKA, it's more painful. This is the one that I'm going to use on people that I extra don't like. I mean, as I'm out in the world fighting for justice. Anyway, the garters are complete and it's time to make them look sassy and figure out my outfit. I tried to make them look slightly better. That is a weird looking imaginary friend. I was all in for some cowgirl fringe vibes, and I really never thought I'd say this, but fringe is not the answer. I just kept the garter design nice and simple, and I'm going to match it with a simple and toned down outfit. I left choosing an outfit to the last minute, which was stressful, because if you were a panty taser superhero, you have to look the part. Luckily, my commitment to netted apparel really came through for me. Let's go. Everything is done and I'm ready to go. Here's the plan. First, I'm gonna go and test things out with my friend and Don't Set Yourself on Fire advisor, Alan Pan. Ironic, I know. Then I'm gonna go and visit Kyle Hill in his secret lair and talk science. And then it will be time for the big leagues. That's right, I'm talking about the real world, baby. Here I am setting up to do the fire test and getting into character with Alan. I'm not saying that I did a bad job making these, I'm just saying that for the first real test, if something goes wrong, I'd rather Alan be the one that catches on fire.
Hey!
What are you, excuse me.
What are you doing?
I'm reading. Can you move your
Oh, yeah?
arm? That's kind of...
What are you reading? Is this some kind of girl book? That's cool. Oh!
While wonderful at getting into the creeper character, Alan still really struggled with the whole idea behind manspreading. Good thing I'm flexible. Luckily, I achieved my objective and learned 2 things. 1, no accidental fire, yay! And 2, Alan is really great at manspreading with his torso. Next project? Now that I've ascertained there will be no spontaneous fires, it's off to Kyle Hill's secret lair so that we can talk science and really understand how these taser garters work. Luckily, mastering teleportation has been one of my quarantine side hustles. Hey, Kyle.
Oh. Hey, Thea, how'd you get in here?
Well, I have a very important science question.
What are these things on your legs?
Well, I decided to do a little bit of modification to female undergarments.
Okay.
And I need your help because I really need to talk about the science of what I'm trying to do here.
Well, fantastic. Those are electrodes.
Exactly. So
Okay.
what I need you to do is I just need you to sit still.
Sure.
And we're gonna just do some tests and experiments because we have to just gather some data.
Okay. So what do I have to do? Ah! Jeez!
How did that feel?
I felt, is that all the testing you need, or are you good?
I just want to make sure that as we go back into the world after this time of quarantine, women feel able to inhabit their space and,
It burnt my pants a little bit. Do you smell that?
well, I think we just need to try it a couple more times, and actually that is part of the data gathering I'm looking for, so
Okay.
this is great. We are totally on track.
Ah! Jeez! You smell that? Is that me?
Actually,
You smell that?
I smell that.
That's me burning! Is there any other tests that you need me
Well,
to...
actually, I'm gonna need you to try this side as well, thank you.
Hurt on! Jeez! Yeah!
I feel like the burning scent is something to be considered.
Ah! I'm out. I'm done. I'm good.
Wow, that was some great science. It's so funny. At one point during the experiment, Kyle turned to me and was like, "Are we actually gonna talk about science or are you just gonna keep tasing me?" And I was like, Kyle, I would never.
Hurt on! Yeah!
It's a really good thing I didn't go all the way there just to tase him.
Ah! Jeez!
Thanks, Kyle. And now it's time for the real world. Wait, Thea, I don't think it's cool to tase children. All right, so it's clear that none of the men I know are very good at manspreading. But that's okay because, let's be real, that was never really what this video is about anyway. It was so fun to go deep and explore what it felt like to women spread. And of course, what everything in this world really hinges on: world domination.